Hi, Anthony Bellotti here. Welcome to the Anthony Bellotti Show. Our first guest is named Jennifer Thompson. How you doing, Jennifer?
Hi, thank you for having me.
No problem. Alright, let's get started. Can you explain that unfortunate night you had to experience?
Well, it was about 3 a.m. and I guess I didn't hear him come in because of the noise from the air conditioner. And all of a sudden, he comes up on me and he straddles my waist and says, "Shut up, I'll cut you." And I didn't know what to do, but I knew that I had to just get a good look at him while staying calm and focused on what he looks like. And then when he left, I snuck out the back door and I had to get away.
Alright, well, can you talk about the whole incriminating process that you had to go through?
Well, the process was brutal. I had to go down to the police station a lot to identify people from police lineups, and I had to look at sketches that they drew me. And I just kept thinking about when he said, "Shut up, I'll cut you," and it just kept echoing through my mind, and I couldn't get it out when I was identifying people from police lineups.
Alright, well thank you very much for being with us today, Jennifer. And we'll be back with Ronald Cotton. And we're back with Ronald Cotton. How you doing today?
Doing all right.
Alright, good. Let's get down to it. So explain when you got arrested.
All right. Well, I just gotten home and the police were already there at my house, and they said that they had a warrant for my arrest. So they took me out of the station, and I figured, all right, it's just a mix-up. I'll go there. I'll come back quickly. I'll clear things with the police station. But I was wrong. The police had they'd already chosen me as the rapist of the two women, and it didn't help when I said that I didn't need a lawyer or that I confused the dates that the cops asked me about. They asked where I was on a night, and I screwed up that day. And so they took me into a lineup, and in the lineup, Jennifer Cotton actually picked me, or her name's not Jennifer Cotton, her name's Jennifer Thompson. Jennifer actually picked me out of the 7 or 8 guys that were there. And I was terrified. I wanted to run out of there. I wanted to pick up a cop by his shirt collars and slam him against the wall, but you know, I couldn't do that.
How did it feel having Jennifer accuse you of rape?
It was just awful. You know, when she's sitting in the courtroom and she points at me with such confidence that I was her rapist, it made me, it hurt.
Man. What was it like in prison?
It wasn't fun. I was sentenced to life plus 50 years, so I knew I wasn't getting out of that one. But faith was restored, and hope was restored when Bobby Poole, who is the actual rapist of the two women that I was accused of raping, he was convicted and sent to the same prison as me for a separate charge that's irrelevant. And I figured if I can get him to testify and confess that he had done the deeds I was accused of, that I can get out of prison. But when we actually got him to do it, his testimony was incredible because he was an inmate, and if you figure he's just covering up for me, and no one believed him. So I went back to prison, but thanks to the persistence of my attorney, Phil Mosley, and new DNA tests, I was out of prison in just 11 years.
Alright, well thank you very much for coming down here.
Thanks for having me.
Alrighty.
Alright.
And we'll be back with Ivana Tinkle. And we're back with Ivana Tinkle. How are you doing today, Ivana?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Alright, let's get started. So can you explain to us how this was a case of eyewitness misidentification and what that is?
It was a case of eyewitness misidentification, obviously, because the eyewitness, Jennifer, identified the wrong suspect during the case. Mm-hmm. And what eyewitness misidentification is when the person who had the crime committed on or witnessed it picks the wrong person out of the lineup, which in this case was unfortunately Mr. Ronald Cotton. And some variables that can affect this are estimated variables, such as how much light there was during the incident, and cross-race identification, because it's harder for people from different races to recognize key features in the other's face. And other variables that could have affected this were system variables, which is all on the law enforcement, which is, like during the lineup, they had fillers, such as Ronald Cotton, which they weren't even suspected at all of the crime, but they brought him in because of just to fill in space and to match the person to make sure. And they don't wait for the person to say, "I'm sure of this." They usually say, I think it's that, or I thought it was him. And then during the court, they say that they were positive that it was not.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your input today, Ivana.
Thank you for bringing me on the show.
Alrighty. Have a great day.